This is a still from a movie called 2001, A Space Odyssey. This is Earth as seen from space. Now take a look at this tiny blue dot. What you re-looking at is a painting done by an artist named Robert Hookway in 1968. The painting is titled Pale Blue Dot, and it was done before the advent of high-definition cameras on spacecraft. And yet the way we feel about this image then and now is pretty much the same. We see ourselves as nothing more than a speck in the vast expanse of the cosmos. I don't want to start today's episode with this idea of our insignificance. It's just that sometimes when we think about our place in the universe, it's humbling. Our solar system is relatively unremarkable. Of the 100 billion Earth-like planets out there in the Milky Way, some are bound to have life, maybe even intelligent life. Yet we spend most of our time here on this one little blue dot, fighting over religion, ideologies, politics, convinced that this little patch of dirt is the only thing that matters in the universe. Now, I don't know if you saw the episode I did a couple weeks ago on the possibility of a multiverse. But if we go down that rabbit hole, things become even more mind-boggling. In a multiverse, there are infinite versions of everything. Every possible outcome of every decision taken by every person throughout history plays itself out somewhere in the multiverse. If that's true, then there are infinite versions of us, all going about their lives on their own little blue dots. And if we expand our thinking beyond the multiverse, it gets even crazier. According to the theory of eternal inflation, new universes are constantly being born. So the chances are that there are many, many more multiverses out there, each with their own versions of us. So against the backdrop of eternity, how much can we matter? How much should we matter? Hi, I'm your host. This is the Cosmic Perspective, a science show that helps you understand the big ideas of cosmology and astrophysics. We live in a very strange universe. Things aren't just solid objects interacting with other solid objects. Everything we see and touch is mostly empty space. Atoms themselves are mostly empty space, consisting of the small, dense nucleus surrounded by a large volume of empty space filled by electrons. If you consider yourself to be a materialist, meaning that you believe that everything that exists is made of stuff that all phenomena can be explained by the interactions of material things, then that means that you are yourself mostly empty space. When we walk next to each other, most of us is empty space. We brush right through each other like ghosts. Consider that if you were made entirely of protons and non-neutrons, you would weigh about 100 trillion kilograms, which is almost as heavy as Mount Everest, but you don't. You're mostly empty space, and because you're mostly empty space, you are able to experience the world around you. You are able to stand on the surface of this planet and look up at the stars and contemplate the nature of existence and wonder why you are here and what it all means. This might sound silly, but just think about it for a second. We keep finding ourselves in situations where it seems like the fact that something exists at all is a miracle. Consider the fact that you are alive at all. You are here sitting on a planet that happens to be in the habitable zone of its star. You happen to live during a time when there are humans around who can teach you about the world and how to survive in it. You happen to have access to food and water. You have friends and family who love you. Even more remarkably, your ancestors happen to be in the right place at the right time again and again throughout history. If any one of a huge number of things had been slightly different, you wouldn't be here right now, and it's not just you. All living things are here because of a series of lucky breaks. Consider what it takes for a species to get to the point where it can launch a spacecraft to another world. Humans are incredibly adaptable, and we tend to write ourselves into existence by overcoming obstacles. But without all the adaptations that natural selection provided, such as opposable thumbs, forward-facing eyes, and large brains, we would not be where we are today. As Carl Sagan wrote in his book, Cosmos, we are a way of the universe understanding itself. We have to keep reminding ourselves that we are part of nature, not just some special creations whose existence is guaranteed regardless of how things are. If you're enjoying this episode and you'd like to help support the work I do here, please consider supporting the channel. Your support will allow me to continue to bring these videos to everyone for free. Okay, now back to the show. The human brain is a remarkable organ. It allows us to perform calculations in our heads that would have taken the best supercomputers a long time to perform even 50 years ago. And yet, at the base level, a human brain is no more complicated than the brains of other animals. A dog's brain has the same basic structure as a human brain. In fact, some parts of a dog's brain are more complex than the analogous regions in a human brain. And yet you probably wouldn't describe a dog as pondering its existence while contemplating the meaning of life. Why do we humans find ourselves able to sit here and wonder about the nature of reality? Are we really so different from the rest of the universe? Or is the real miracle not that we exist at all, but that we are here, alive and conscious, on this little blue dot in the middle of nowhere? I mean, let's be honest. It is pretty cool that we managed to evolve to the point where we can ask questions like, why are we here? And it is kind of awesome that we've managed to build telescopes powerful enough to detect exoplanets around other stars. But it is also kind of dumb that we haven't figured out how to cure cancer or end world hunger. As a scientist, my perspective is that all of the good things and bad things about humanity are the result of physical processes taking place inside human brains. It's just that simple. All the beauty of music, art, literature, all the innovation and technology, all the cruelty, all the horror, it's all the result of physical processes taking place inside human brains. Those physical processes take place inside the neurons in your brain, which respond to inputs from your sensory organs and send signals to each other by releasing chemicals across tiny gaps. In principle, if we had the computing power and the ability to measure all the variables involved, we could simulate those processes on a computer and accurately predict what you would do next. What you would say next, what you would think next. In practice, I doubt we'll ever be able to do that. But the idea illustrates what a materialistic view of the universe looks like. From this perspective, we are nothing more than physical systems, complicated, yes, but ultimately nothing more than physics. But then, if we are nothing more than physical systems, how can we ponder our place in the universe, or question the nature of reality, or speculate about whether there is a God? If we are nothing more than physical systems, how can we talk about anything at all? It's a great question, and I think the answer lies in how we use language. We can use language to describe the way things are, like saying it's raining or the economy is terrible. But we can also use language to try and make sense of how we experience the world. We might say that a particular piece of music expresses sadness or that a sunset is beautiful. Statements like these are subjective. They are based on our experiences and our perceptions, and they are also functional. By assigning meaning to things, we are able to interact with the world around us in a more meaningful way. So maybe the miracle isn't that we exist at all. Maybe the miracle is that we have evolved to use language to assign meaning to things. Because if we can do that, then we can do anything. We can explore distant worlds. We can build spaceships and robots to explore places too dangerous or too far away for humans to visit. We can study the stars and learn that even though we are just a speck in the vastness of space, we are capable of understanding the universe. And it doesn't hurt to remember that we are all in this together. Yes, we have our differences, but the fact that we are all made mostly of empty space, all trying to make sense of our brief experience of consciousness on this little blue dot, is something that unites us rather than divides us. You know, the fact that we are alive is a miracle, but the fact that we are aware of being alive, that we can appreciate the preciousness of our existence, makes our lives all the more meaningful. So go out there and make something of your life. Don't waste your existence on meaningless pursuits. Make a difference in the world. Show the universe that even a flicker in the cosmic silence can matter. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please show your support. I'd appreciate it. Also, remember to subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.